Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. By the trust vested in me by Meycauayan Toastmasters Club, I officially call this meeting to order. How are you guys? Did
I'm
you vote? Well, before we dig deeper in our meeting, let me call on distinguished Toastmaster Mark Edrada to lead our prayer and Toastmasters promise. Distinguished Toastmaster Mark, the stage is yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Let's bow ourselves and feel the presence of our Lord. Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening of camaraderie, of learning, and of excitement as we will be relaxed and be pampered during this meeting as we dig deeper into a relaxing mode of our team tonight, Spa. Father God, guide us, help us, protect us, lead us, and save us. And let the wisdom of yours, the wisdom of our fellow Toastmasters accompany us tonight, and may we apply this as we progress in life. This we pray in the name of our Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord, our Savior. Amen. Let us raise our right hands as we recite the Toastmasters promise. As a member of Toastmasters International Alumni Club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare
okay.
for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help
Help.
the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to the club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Back to you, President Jeff.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm sorry. I hope you exercised your vote yesterday. And for me, I felt that this election has improved a lot compared to the previous year. So, how's your insights? Let me call on. How about you, Tamrose? Did you vote yesterday?
Yeah, I did. I did vote yesterday. Just to let you know, the elementary school, the my precinct is just across my street.
So, how's the result? Did you have a bullseye? 12 out of 12
Well,
of the
no, not
senators?
really. Not really. I undervoted, and what else? I am glad that apart from being number one, Bamakino
Mm-hmm.
in Bulacan, we don't have
Wow.
Villar in the Magic 12.
In your
So there
precinct
you go.
or in the
In
whole of
our
Bulacan?
for the whole of Bulacan. Yeah.
Wow. That makes you proud,
Proud.
truly,
Yes, it
PM
makes me
Rose.
proud of my neighbors.
I hope that's our neighborhood will be like your precinct too, PM Rose. So how about TM Nomel or Distinguished Toastmaster Nomel?
Yes, of
Have you
course, I
voted
voted.
yesterday? Yeah.
Yes, and I have voted every single elections ever since I was eligible to vote. And
Wow,
just like
that's great.
DTM Rose, I also undervoted, although I
Mm-hmm.
made sure that I checked my receipt because I don't want any additional names on my receipt. And just like DTM Rose, I'm very happy with the results. At least two of the senatorials that I voted won. I'm really glad about it. I think it's a very fair and clean elections, despite some results that are not to my liking. But overall, I think this is a marked improvement from what we had the last time around. I'm really proud of our country for completing our count in just what, over 24 hours, almost everything is counted 100%. That's really amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Noel. That's what I like about these midterm elections, and I'm so excited on what the future will unfold on the next few years with what we have voted yesterday. So moving on, may, now let's talk about the theme of our meeting. Tonight's relaxing and meaningful theme is spa. While we often associate spas with pampering and luxury, tonight's meeting is a reminder that we need moments of self care. So, may this meeting be a refreshing experience, not just for your voice and delivery, but for your mind's spirit and personal growth. And now, to guide us through this evening's relaxing and yet enriching program is someone who consistently leads us to a calm and insightful leadership. Please, please let us all welcome Toastmaster Oscar Soriano. Tem Oscar, the stage is yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and also good morning. I'm coming to you live from San Francisco when it's cold and it's 4 a.m. Toastmasters are actually ordinary people. We consider ourselves as pampered because we speak well, but we're just ordinary people that experience pitfalls in life. We fail, and we also face difficult challenges in life, and they could be from the workplace. We get so much stress from work and also from a dysfunctional family. We often express ourselves being disappointed with family matters. And of course, another thing is the toxic influences of social media platforms. Hold on a second. My mom is right here with me in the back, sorry. Anyway, and whether we like it or not, we experience stress and our body and our minds become stressed and fatigue set in. And the worst part is when our human composure is pushed down to the very level because of anger. And what do? Well, we try to bounce back by mingling and partying with friends until the wee hours of the morning to forget our worries. And sometimes we travel far and wide so that we can at least get a piece of the proverbial fresh air and also to get away from it all. But oftentimes, this is not enough. Oftentimes, we still get stressed, and over the fact that we travel, we also break the bank and we always come home with an empty pocket. So tonight, fellow Toastmasters, I will envision to put you on a rejuvenating, wow, relaxing, and soothing vibe as we tackle the theme that I hope will imbibe your sense of slackening, push your idea of unwinding. It does not break the bank, but this is an entirely different kind of experience, a holistic personal experience called spa. SPA comes from the Latin words salus per aquam, which in translated to English is health through waters. And this started in the province, in the city of Spa. They call it Spa in Belgium. I'm sorry, in Belgium, right? And that's where they have this wonderful water springs, hot water springs, just like we have in Pansol. And in the 14th century, Roman soldiers will come home from war and they will engage themselves to heal their wounds and ailments in these beautiful warm waters. And the town became very popular. And as soon as they become popular, the whole of Europe and now the entire world Every city in the world, every corner in every city of the world, there is a spa. Not to mention Manila or perhaps Meycauayan. So everybody, have you been to a spa? Have you experienced the calm and peace after a spa session?
Yes.
Yes. All right, tonight we engage ourselves in a different kind of spa because we're Toastmasters. Spa in our language means speak passionately always. We shall listen to amiable speakers in the table topic session and be enthralled by the rejuvenated, prepared speakers and also be brought to an inspiring heart by the beguiling evaluation. So, are we ready for a night of restoring our youthful vigor,
Yeah.
vibe, and speaking powers?
Yes, ready.
Okay, the spice. Let's start with the word of the day or the tech word for the day. That's the spice to add aroma to our meeting tonight. And the word will be introduced by Mark Edrada.
Okay. Thank you for that, Toastmaster Oscar. The word of the night is pamper. Pamper means to treat with extreme or excessive care and attention. Pamper. For example, she pampered herself with a day at the spa. The word of the night is pamper. Can somebody give me an example of a sentence using the word pamper?
Let me try.
Yes. Toastmaster Rose.
When I was single, pamper used to mean going to the spa. But when I became a mother, it became a diaper.
Yes. Pamper. Sabi nga ng mga lola,
Yes,
pamper. Bili ka nga ng pamper.
yes, true.
All right. Another one. It's just a simple word, but we can use the word of the day, pamper. How about Toastmaster Chris? You're unmuting your microphone.
Sorry. Yeah, I think I drafted one. Since I anticipate having a hectic work week, I decided in advance to book a massage session on Saturday to pamper myself.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so that's our word for the day, pamper. Let's use it during the proceedings of this tonight's meeting. Now, back to you, Toastmaster Oscar.
Not only do we need to speak passionately always, we always need to speak positively always. And our next segment is the table topic session. We have allocated 15 minutes for this. Each speaker will speak for 1 minute, and the timer and the language and motion evaluator will be at hand to take note of everything that happens during the table topic session. Tables, it is where we find the scent, the beautiful scents and gems of language from our speakers. So without further ado, please welcome Jeff Robles to usher in the table topic session.
Wow. Thank you, Toastmaster Oscar. Hi everyone, I'm your table topics master and I'm here to guide you through our to the one of the most exciting segments of our meeting and for some the most nerve-wracking segment of our meeting, which is impromptu speaking. In table topics, you'll be given a topic or a question, and you'll be given 1 to 2 minutes to answer. 1 minute for green, 1 minute and 30 seconds. The yellow card will be flashed on your screen, and 2 minutes, the red card will be flashed on your screen. That means you have to wrap up your message because you only have 30 seconds to finish it. Don't worry about being perfect. Just enjoy the process and treat this like a mental spa session where you will stretch your spontaneity and detox your fear. So to help you navigate your response in our table topics, I will give you the most common table topic patterns that are being used in Toastmasters. Number one is SMG, story message game, where you have to state your story, explain your message, and reflect what you gain on your story. Second, PPF, or past, present, future. You have to recall the past, reflect on the present, and give a hopeful future outlook about your story. Third is prep, or PREP, which means position, reason, example, position, where you have to state your position first, state your reason, give an example to solidify your position, and then restate again your position. So that is prep, position, reason, example, position. And lastly, what I can advise to you is the number 4 tip is, if you don't know the subject, shift it. You can avoid the subject by doing impromptu delivery of what runs on your mind. So I hope these common table topic patterns will help you in navigating our segment tonight. So I would like to call on for volunteers who would like to try our table topics, or who want to be first to be called on our table topic session. Anyone? I'm seeing you smiling, PM Juliet. Would you like to try our first topic?
Okay,
All
sure.
right. Take the challenge. So here's the first topic. They say you can pour from an empty cup. They say you can pour from an empty cup. Share a moment when you realize you needed to pause and take care of yourself first. PM Juliet.
Okay, me being a working mom ever since, and I've shared before that I was working since I graduated from high school. Actually, I was 15 when I graduated. So if you compute that, for how many years I've been working, like dog. So it's only during this age, in my 50s, that I realize that I also have a life, and it's not just work. So I started having this routine of going to the massage at least twice a month, going to the facial together with the massage, and a foot spa twice a month to pamper myself. And that gives me this feeling that I really deserve that. I'm at the prime of my life and I'm just enjoying it now. Everything after all those works and works and works and works. Finally, I'm in this stage that I can balance work and life more effectively and giving time for myself as well. So you should too, those who are at their 40s going to golden years, do the same and you will feel complete. Back to you, those table topics master.
Thank you, PM Juliet. So that's a reminder, dear friends, that for those who are hardworking employees or businessmen, do take care of yourselves. Pamper yourself first. Okay, for the second topic, do we have a volunteer? Would you like to try PM Mikey? All right. So please make sure you're unmuted. So here's your topic. What's one thing you wish people would understand about rest, and how does it connect to success? Again, what's one thing you wish people would understand about rest, and how does it connect to success? Rest to success. TM Mikey.
Hello, good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. I think as somebody who works a lot and who finds comfort in knowing that I will be doing things the next day, I think some in my perspective, rest is often misunderstood as a mere inactivity. But if there is one thing that I would like to tell people about rest, it is actually a way for our mind, for our body, and for our soul to be productive. Rest is productivity's best friend. Unlike the popular belief that it is our state of being inactive or of being unable to do anything, rest could come in a different form. It is not just about sleeping, it is not just about being stationary or not doing anything. Sometimes rest includes mental breaks. It could be through yoga, through meditation, through reading a book, or through listening to a music. Sometimes rest could be in the form of physical relaxation. You don't necessarily have to do nothing in order for you to feel rested. Sometimes you can go to the spas, you can you can have a mani and pedi session, and that's rest. And also, rest could mean social downtime. Yes, many people might say that rest could mean that we get to give ourselves some time off from people, or from from giving our social battery some rest. But again, those things, doing those things, those efforts, that is something that makes us productive in a way. Remember, people, rest isn't a reward. It is a necessity. And it is a necessity for us to be successful. Listening to your body matters. It is our tool to get work done. And it is important to get rest when you need to. So rest is a necessity. Thank you so much. I will be returning the control to my fellow table topics master.
Wow, thank you, TM Mikey. So that's a quotable quote. Rest is a necessity. So, dear friends, TM Mikey showed us different perfect perspective of having rest in your lives. Maybe it's social downtime or having spa in your free time. So, thank you, TM Mikey. Next, who wants to volunteer for our third topic? This is getting interesting. Would you like to try our guest for Tonato? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Would you like to participate in our table topics?
Not yet ready by now.
Sorry?
Not yet ready by now. Pass muna.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No worries. How about you, TM Hazel? Are you game?
Sure po.
Okay, let's try. So, here's your topic. Spa, spas offer detox for the body. If your mind could undergo a mental detox, what thoughts, experience, or habits would you release? Again, spas offer detox for the body. If your mind could undergo a mental detox, what thoughts or experience or habits would you release? Yeah, Maisel.
if there's as you have mentioned, spa may be something that can help us detox or release thoughts or ideas from our minds. However, contrary to that, when I want to detox my mind or have a simple rest for myself, it's not really something that I would do to release thoughts or try to forget things for a while. My own version of spa or detoxing or pampering myself even is actually trying to do things that would trigger my mind to actually work, just like today. Um, I I have a lot on my plate right now. I have a lot of schedules that and deadlines that I have to meet. And before this meeting, I'm actually having a hard time processing my thoughts and ideas. So when I saw our president's message about the invitation for this Toastmasters meeting, I actually decided to join. Not because um not because I wanted to divert my attention, but because this is actually something that I consider a part of myself being pampered and actually helping myself think better and detoxing my mind from things that I have to do urgently. So it's not really trying to release the thoughts or forget those things right away. It's more of a simple way that I can do to actually help my mind process thoughts better, and I just do something else. And Toastmasters is one of my ways that I consider a help for myself to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Hazel. I agree. Sometimes I have to take a rest after doing a 8 hour or 12 hour shift at my work. So just to have a refreshed or clear mind. Thank you, TM Hazel. I think this would be the last topic. Let me call on for TM Chris. Do you want to participate?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So here's your topic. Just because you take breaks doesn't mean you're broken. Ah, just because you take breaks doesn't mean you're broken, PM Chris.
If you'll ask me the status of my life right now, I can say that it is one of my peaceful and stable season of our lives. I'm not saying that I don't have any problems, but it is just one of the stable, peaceful, we have not so much of things to worry about. And even though I am in my stable stage or phase of my life, doesn't mean that I'm not required or I'm not allowed to take breaks. I admit that I'm a workaholic, and when I'm in my mood to really work, I spend almost like 1 to 5 hours straight working. However, I learned some techniques so that I can manage my work schedule and also taking a break in between. One of the things that I've learned is using a Pomodoro technique, wherein you will schedule every 25 minutes to spend your time working and then take a break for 5 minutes and repeat it 3 times and for the fourth time you take a 15-minute longer break. But whenever I take my breaks, it doesn't mean that I'm broken or I am struggling or I am feeling sad or hopeless or whatsoever. It's just that taking on breaks in between, not just with work, but also in life, helps me to pause, to see things clearly, see things beyond my vision. And it also helps me, um, it humbles me and it helps me to breathe and take a break in life so that I can do more and achieve more with my work, with my personal life, and other matters in my life. Back to you, TM Jeff.
Thank you, TM Chris. So TM Chris reminds us that you don't have to be broken. Maybe you're on the best state of your life right now, but you still need a break. You know why? Because you need it to live more, to act more, and to do more when you do have a rest. Thank you to all our speakers and to the brave souls who participated in our table topic session tonight. They showed us their creativity and spontaneity and relaxed minds in delivering their wonderful speeches. Now, let me give back the control to our general Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Oscar.
Thank you very much, President Jeff. Those short narratives already are soothing our ailing muscles in our brain. Well done, speakers, which reminds me of that iconic opening statement I felt just a while ago. You still remember that? That put someone's head, somebody put a crown on someone's head because of that. And I think that's where the Toastmasters are helping people. And with the table topic session, we're able to actually speak positively about different things in life, no matter what subject matter we are given to tackle. So now we go back to the spa. There are different types of spa. One is Nordic. I don't know if you have heard about the Nordic spa. It's Nordic spa from the northern cities like Iceland and Canada. In those countries, Nordic spa are pretty popular, but expensive because you have to go to Iceland and Canada to experience that. In the Philippines, we have Mineral Thermal Spring right in our neighborhood, just a few hours away from Meycauayan. We can go to Pansol, and that has been there for the longest time, and we can enjoy swimming, relaxing, soothing our ailing bodies, and all of that. So now we're ready for the real spot treat. We have three prepared speakers for the night, and they have their own brand and gift of speaking. And I'm pretty sure they will also help us ail our breaking heart and ease our tension in our bodies. So let me welcome the first speaker for today. Our first speaker is delivering a speech from the Path Motivational Strategies. It's speech project number or level 1.4 of the evaluation and feedback. And the purpose is to practice applying the feedback gathered from the previous speech. This is a 5 to 7 speech and to be evaluated by our President Jeff Robles. Please welcome. The title of the speech is Innovative Modus of Scammers. Wow, that sounds so interesting. Please welcome Juliet Kabatingan.
Have you ever been scammed? Hope not. Last year, around February 2024, one of our board of directors, actually founding board of directors, messaged me via FB Messenger. He was on a holiday, vacationing in Japan together with his family. He asked whether I have GCash and if I can send some amounts to be used on his farm to sending to a certain GCash name and number. But prior to that, he asked me once to send some money to one of his relatives because he doesn't have GCash. So I sent the money and he paid me back. So no problem with me. He said to send 15K and he will pay me later. So I sent. Then he said, maybe can you send another 20K? Because they need more for the farm. So I sent. Then asked again to send 27,000 more. But I couldn't anymore because I have limits. I only sent an additional 10,000. So altogether, 45,000. Then after a few minutes, he rang me through Viber and said, Juliet, my FB and Messenger was hacked. Do not send money if anyone will ask. Oh my freaking frog! No! I already sent the money. Why did you call just now? And the rest was history. It hurts me to tell this story again and again, so I'll cut it there. Few months ago, a certain Clifford Uy called me via mobile around 10:30-ish in the morning, introducing himself as an employee from the customer service of Metrobank credit card. He talked very much like a trained customer service as he detailed my qualification for a credit limit increase with my Metrobank card. As a procedure, he said, they will deliver a letter notifying the increase, and I will need to sign those in 2 copies, one for me and one for Metrobank. As the Metrobank owned courier waits for my acknowledgement, I also need to give a photocopy of my valid government ID to the same courier. In addition to that, I need to surrender my old credit card to the very same courier guy, which apparently can no longer be used as they will replace it with a new card, which is to be received in 3 working days. Just when I heard that, I had my doubts. I told him it's not usual to surrender the old card, so I'm not going to do that. But because I entertained his call, he felt that I can be swayed. He justified that it is necessary for them to transfer my balance from the old card to the new card, and he was very persuasive and does not want to stop until he gets a yes. So for him to stop, I told him okay. Then I rang Metrobank and reported the incident, and I asked if they changed the procedure, and they confirmed that this is a fraud. Well, the scammers have leveled up with their modus. They no longer ask for your 3-digit CVV or mesmerize you to get OTP using your credit card online. They will your credit card and one their hands, then you're finished. They can purchase unlimited online transactions, and before you know it, all your limits were consumed. They can actually do it in one day. Then you will waste too much time to file a complaint, and most often, nothing will happen. My problem is when I felt guilty about, or what I felt guilty about is that I didn't think this is a priority, so I was not able to warn my friends. My friend, my kumare, was victimized within the same period of attempt to scam me, and I only learned about it after several months when we met and had our chance to chat. The total amount she was scammed was 185,000. Same modus. Just last Black Saturday, someone called me saying she was from the national ID system, asking if I have any problem with my national ID, as she can help. Wow, on a Black Saturday. I just hanged up and blocked the number. For all I know, another innovative way of scammers to scam. What is the moral of the story? Scammers are scammers. They will never stop until they get what they want, which is to make you feel comfortable talking to them, then steal your money and drain your nerves. They will make you feel powerless and helpless. What should we do? Few things. share our experiences for awareness campaign. Do not be silent if something like this happened. Do not think that it is embarrassing or that you would look stupid by sharing things like this, like what happened to me with that Gcash. I felt embarrassed, so I kept silent. I only told few, not even to my family, but it was wrong. Second, be mindful and attentive. Sometimes when we are preoccupied with a lot of things, we tend to give in with the very convincing lines of the scammers, especially the ones who are really trained to fraudulent activities. The third, do not keep large sum of cash with your ePay accounts or in any medium that you use for payment. Like me, if I didn't have a limit, I would have been scammed with more money. Do not trust anyone asking for money, even if they are your friends or relatives. Try to verify in any way possible whether the request for money is valid and really coming from them. And lastly, if you feel any doubt with the person who rang you and you are talking with, just hang up. That's it. Don't get scammed. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
That was what I was saying a while ago. We are experiencing some toxic things that are going on in the social media platform. The more you expose yourself to the social media, the more you are prone to receiving calls. I'm not sure if there's a technology already present in the Philippines, but here, when I get a call, it would say potential scam. I don't know if we have that structure in the Philippines, but I could tell that it's a potential scam, so I just hang up and block that number altogether at once. But I think Toastmaster Juliet, I think you need a spa. I'd like to take you to an expensive spa so you can forget all of these troubles, all of these scammers. Maybe the money that you sent was well spent in a spa somewhere in Manila. Our second speaker for the night is a thoroughbred in the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. She is one of the central figures in our club, member of the whatever millennial group of Toastmasters. Well, we are the seniors. We are the senior Toastmasters. So her prepared speech for today is from the Path Presentation Mastery. And the speech project is from level 5.3, Reflect on Your Path. The purpose of this speech is to reflect on your growth during the completion of an entire path. She is allotted 10 to 12 minutes, and the title of her speech is also a very interesting title for a speech. It's called Rumblings. And to evaluate her is none other than Educational Director Mark Estrada. Edrada, I'm sorry. Please welcome Rose Paglia.
Dear Diary, it is time to finish what I started. But what is time? Time is a structure built by man to enslave us. It needs to be, sorry. Time is a creation by man to enslave us. Yet it's also that when we chase and we're trying to finish projects here in Toastmasters, or in my or in my case right now, my pathways level. And in this journey, I would like it to be perfect in every step. But wait, what's perfect? How did we even come to that point where man created the word perfect? So was there a time when this certain person saw something so divine, sublime, and they came up with a word with that description? This is perfect. in real life, I'd say the closest that we could get to that is contentment, or maybe our wildest imagination. Hmm, But what if they don't get it? Am I a loony like Vincent van Gogh? So these are the thoughts that come to my head. They come in bursts, these ramblings. Did you know that ramble means to walk for pleasure, typically without a definite route? Or it could also mean to talk at length in a confused or inconsistent way. Maybe very much like this speech. Let's be honest. You too have probably rambled in starting a project here in Toastmasters, or maybe even at work. Anyone with me? At first, you feel confident. This is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You start reading, researching, writing, planning, drafting until you get what? 5 drafts? And suddenly it's stress, depressed, lemon zest. But here is the beauty of it. You pull through. Why? Because you decide to. Because you commit. And because deep down, you know that you need to finish what you started. And that is one of my biggest lessons. Better is better done than perfect. Toastmasters Pathways is the program. It's self-paced, so you can take your time. But do not take too long. I'm not here to chase titles. I'm not in it for the fame. Okay, maybe a little. I like it when I go to the district conference and say, "Hi, Rose. Hi, Rose. Oh, it's Rose. I know her." Yeah. I like the feeling. It doesn't matter for me if I get a CC, a CL, a DTM, or a level 5, because that's not the core of why I'm here. I grew up around creative people, my family. My grandmother's side, my mother, my aunts, my cousins, they were all creators. They're not content creators, they're creators of a different kind, matriarchs, artists. So here I am creating. As in my presidential time, a few years ago, my theme was create connections. And when I was a division director, I said, greatness favors the brave ones who dare step a toe outside the line or beyond the box. So my ulterior motive, I love creating projects. I'll be honest though, I haven't seen a doctor, but maybe I have ADHD because I bounce from one topic to another in the middle of a conversation. I'm sorry, am I just a bad listener? Or is that other person just really, really boring? I start one idea, do another, and then chase a third. And my ideas, they could fill buckets. I told you 5 drafts earlier. And yet, I sometimes look back and ask, have I finished any of these? And that is where Toastmasters help me. Because the projects are structured. The pathway is clear. Half of it is already laid out. You have your objective. You just have to show up and follow through. Without these objectives, I'd probably still be going around the house, cleaning randomly and tinkering things. Who knows what things. Also, here in Toastmasters, you have support. Oh, the support from your Vice President of Education, to your mentors, to your clubmates, and some of those club members even become your besties. They keep you on track. They push you. They jump in when you start doubting yourself. Why don't we have a sample, Toastmaster Mark?
Yes.
So yes. So sometimes I would ask Toastmaster Mark, this seems so hard. What do I do?
You can do that. Actually, when somebody asks that, for example, Armel, what can I do? I don't have time to think of my speeches or whatever, I would tell her it's not only the mind that works, it's also the heart. So let your heart speak in your speech. Back to you, Rose.
Wow. Thank you for that, Mark. So that's one of the dynamics here in Toastmaster with my fellow clubmates that really helped me push through, finish this level. Now, the final project in any pathways is a retrospective. So looking back, there were a lot of lessons. Some of them are now lost in the chaoticness of my subconscious. Or let's just say, nakalimutan ko na. Well, hopefully, I do remember them when the time comes, when I need it. Again, speaking of time, mind the time. How often you speak and how much. Because speaking opportunities, especially in table topics, because that's every meeting, right? You compound your confidence. Now, I remember being stuck on level 3 by choice because I wanted to repeat the projects. I wanted to do more because I was having fun. And when you're having fun, that's when the learning happens. Just like what our founder, Ralph Smedley, said. Better done than perfect. Here you can evaluate yourself with a before and after. So you give yourself a time span. Like you can compare your last year's weight to this year's weight. So no, that's not the best example, but I hope you get the idea. So you set deadlines and you respect the deadlines. One of my favorite quotes about deadlines is, if it weren't for deadlines, nothing would get done. Have I improved? I believe I have. Even if it took a while. Because as you know, the higher levels in pathways involve leadership projects. And those are a different kind of monster. I don't know why people think I'm a great leader. Guys, I'm just charming and popular. The truth is, I feel very responsible for others. Because what if I turn all of you into little robot versions of me? What I've learned, especially during the pandemic, that people process things differently. We are not dealt the same cards and we don't play the same. So when I had my chance to lead, I simply did my best. I showed up, I stayed present, and hope that inspires someone. Enough for them to play their hand. And now finishing this project and reflecting on my journey, I hope I've inspired someone. Anyone? Guys? I hope I made you think or feel something, because that's always been my simple goal in all my creations. So yes, I can say that it is finished. Yours always, PM Level 5, Rose Agia. PS, let me know if you'd like a shorter version. Back to you, Toastmaster Oscar.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rose. What is your Gemini sign? What is your zodiac sign?
I'm Cancer.
Oh,
Cancer
you're
Leo.
Cancer. That is why you're creative, just like me. Sagittarius and Cancer are creative communicators, innovative explorers, and dreamy
Wow.
visionaries and dramatic artists. That's what we are.
Yes.
When I heard you
Yes.
say from one idea to the other, it happens to me a lot of time. It's not that the other person is boring. It's just that we have so much things in our minds that we'd like to express and pour them out all of a sudden. It was great speech. Thank you so much. Now
Thank
that
you,
we've heard
Toastmaster
two
Oscar.
speeches for tonight, we're very close to that part of the spa experience, which is to add aromatic spices that can only come from a holistic evaluation of the speeches, including the table topic session. Each speaker shall have an invigorating feedback from equally passionate evaluators. And to introduce these evaluators and our assistants, I'd like to welcome you somebody that is no stranger to the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. Let me call him the leader of the pack, or maybe the manager of the spa, although in a different way, speak purposely always. He's a member of the Dasmariñas City Toastmasters Club and a Toastmaster for 25 years since 2000. Please welcome our general evaluator for the evening spa session, DTM Nomel I. Gilongas.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Oscar, for that lovely introduction. 25 years. I think I would need a time in a spa.
Yeah.
Well, for the benefit of our guests and new Toastmasters, the evaluation portion of a Toastmasters program is what makes us different from many other personality development program because we provide not only immediate feedback, but our feedback is always designed to encourage our members. It's almost like you spending your time in a spa, and every time we are in a spa, our objective is to not probably some of us would like to heal ourselves. Others would just simply want to relax. Others would just like to spend some time to feel better. So we have different reasons why we go to spa, but everything boils down to one fact, to be better. And that's what evaluations are for. So tonight's meeting will not be any different because we'll be listening to evaluations of all our speakers and everything that has happened during the meeting. So without further ado, let's start our evaluation by inviting our table topics evaluator. Oh, yes, that's DTM Mark Edrada to provide us an evaluation of our table topics. Take it away, DTM Mark.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening. And let me invite you to this spa of table topics evaluation. Which do you prefer? The soft, the moderate, or the hard? I will try to give you the soft and moderate evaluations, but I promise that I will not be hard on you. Okay, let me begin with our table topics speakers. First off, Toastmaster Juliet. On your topic, you made me imagine your life at work and your life. And you ended your speech with a call to action. Because you have this story about your work and life, it would be best if you can engage us by having this vocal variety and dialogues. I noticed that vocal variety and dialogues are not a usual thing in a table topic setting. So I challenge you, Toastmaster Juliet, to involve vocal variety and dialogues in your stories, in your table topics speeches. Next, for Toastmaster Mikey, you were able to correlate rest with success. That was your topic, rest and success. And I noticed that your table topic speech was organized. I was able to follow the speech from start to finish. I noticed earlier that you were not able to include some stories. And now I challenge you to try injecting personal stories when delivering table topics so that it could be engaging for the audience, like me. And in the speech contest of table topics, I noticed that if a speaker or a contestant has this personal story, usually dramatic story, they place in the table topics contest. And then I would also like to challenge you to have the call to action in your speech. I noticed earlier that you told something about yourself for your opinions about rest and success. But and by having the call to action, it would answer the question, what is it for me as your audience? Thank you for that wonderful speech, Toastmaster Mikey. Now, for our third speaker, Toastmaster Hazel, on your topic on mental detox. You answered the question simply by not complicating the words and statements. And you told the story because, like what I mentioned, it was relatable and it was captivating. And you shared with us your experience as a Toastmaster as relaxing method of learning. It, I would suggest next time if you deliver a speech like that, answer the question as well, what is it for me as the audience? Or have this call to action. And finally, for our table topics speaker number 4, for Toastmaster Chris, about mind being broken, you captivated me by telling the audience like me that you were peaceful. That was an attention getter. And you added value about relaxation technique like Pomodoro effect or Pomodoro technique. And let me help you sustain the speech that you have given earlier. My suggestion, because you have captivated me in your introduction, next time I challenge you to end with a bang by connecting the conclusion to the engaging introduction. So those were my soft and moderate evaluation for the table topic speakers. Now, as an extra service, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master, Jeff, you introduced the table topics with a speech pattern. Actually, several speech patterns. And I appreciate that you had these side comments after the speech of our table topic speakers. I noticed earlier that you called the speaker first before revealing the topic. And whenever I'm the table topics master, I'm telling this true and true that table topics is a mental exercise. So if you reveal the question first, then all of us in the audience would think on how to answer that question instead of calling the speaker first or before revealing the topic. The impact of that is that only the speaker would think of the answer and not everybody else. So that is my table topics evaluation, having this soft and moderate evaluation with an extra service at the end. I turn the control back to our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Nomel.
Thank you very much, DTM Mark, for that comprehensive table topics evaluation. If we are indeed in a spa, you just really made everybody enjoy the minerals in the various services offered. You did not only allow us to enjoy the minerals, but you also allow each of our table topic speaker to truly enjoy the specific wants and needs that they have. Truly, they are coming out of the spa healthier. I love how you singled out the strengths of the speakers and made suggestions on how each one of them can be better. I also appreciate, Dita Mark, that you also evaluated our table topics master, highlighting the the smoothness of Toastmaster Jeff in conducting the table topics portion. I do agree with you. I love how he actually provided short feedback on each of the speakers. He's not evaluating them, but he's actually building on the strength of each presentation as a uh, as a um, as a transition to the next speaker. So I love the entire table topics. Toastmaster Jeff, I love the questions that you have prepared. They're not easy questions, but they're also not difficult questions. But what I truly love about your questions is that you allowed each of our speakers to honestly respond to the questions, draw out from their own personal experiences. So I love our table topics session tonight. Good job, Toastmaster Jeff and our table topics evaluator, DTM Mark Andrada. Let's give our table topics master, our table topics evaluator, and our table topic speakers a big round of applause. Good job, everyone. Thank you and congratulations. Before we proceed to the next set of evaluators, dear Toastmasters, since we are in the subject of spa, I might as well provide my feedback on the amazing hosting that Toastmaster Oscar Soriano has been doing throughout the meeting. He practically brought us to the history of spa, allow us to experience, right, spas in different cultures, in different settings. And Toastmaster Oscars, I love your mastery of the language, your choice of words, the way you introduce segments, the way you introduce things in your presentation. It's a delight to listen to. When I go to spa, I wanted to relax. But one of the things that I actually go to the spa is also food. And your your hosting Toastmaster Oscar has given us a well-rounded spa experience, including food. All the wisdoms and gems that you have shared with us tonight, I will be taking away with me when I leave the meeting tonight. And I will always remember you for such a great host of a Toastmasters meeting. I love also your y- your um your appearance. You're very friendly. You look at the camera. You are in control. I have this feeling that you are we are not in a virtual meeting when you are hosting. I love everything Toastmaster Oscar. It's a privilege to have attended tonight's meeting with you as as our Toastmaster of the evening. And also, I would appreciate our president, Toastmaster Jeff, and our vice president, education, Tita and Mark, because when we started the meeting, you actually tried to address program changes before the wrap of the gavel. And I really appreciate that because it demonstrates due diligence. You wanted to start the meeting, but when you start the meeting, you want it to run smoothly and professionally. So when you actually addressed all program changes before the start of the meeting, that's a big check mark on my checklist. I also love your OBB. This is the first time that I have attended the Toastmasters Club that the club actually started with an OBB. It's a very good branding. I love the videos and the pictures included in the OBB. I love the music. It's fantastic. I am stealing that idea and sharing it with the rest of District 75. I also love how everything ran smoothly once the gavel was wrapped through the introduction of the Toastmaster of the evening. So Meycauayan Toastmasters, give yourselves a big round of applause for such a great, impressive, professionally run meeting. Right. So now let's proceed to the evaluations of our prepared speeches. Tonight we are privileged to listen to two prepared speeches with entirely different objectives, but both coming up with a lot of lessons and gems. Some very practical, some very specific when you prepare your Toastmaster speeches. So first off, we've listened to Toastmaster Juliet and who shared with us her experience with scammers. And I really appreciate your speech, Toastmaster Juliet, because I really learned a lot of lessons and tips on how I can avoid being a victim myself. So to evaluate Toastmaster Juliet, please welcome our evaluator, our club president, Toastmaster Jeff.
PM Juliet, thank you for showing this awareness speech that you have delivered tonight. That is not only a told story, but you showed us innovative ways how scammers operate. And through your storytelling, reminded us that we should stay vigilant in increasingly deceptive world. You brought your audience into the moment by using vocal variety. You have I have noticed that you raised your voice when you are emphasizing some segments or some parts of your story, especially the climax of every story, which you have given us two stories on your whole speech. I also observed your use of your hands, your gestures, which made your message more expressive. I also noticed that the structure of your speech is a story message game. Having story message game, whenever I listen to this kind of stories, it, it's like the speaker is just telling a story right beside us. So you gave your speech clarity and flow using that structure, which is story message game. It makes the events, the stories easy to follow for your audience. So to make your speech and bring your speech to the next level, I would like to offer a few suggestions. In my perspective, when I tell a story that have figures, I tried to make it more relatable. For example, when you mentioned the amount lost in the scam, like 185,000, you have to put it into context so your audience can visualize it, such as it's like losing a second-hand car overnight. That's it. You have to compare it to a more tangible thing or tangible item. Next, second, the Juliet is the use of the power pauses. So using power pauses help listeners to absorb key information and help you transition from one story to another. And lastly, TM Juliet, you have to maintain eye contact. You have to glance once in a while in the center of your screen to build or make a connection between you and your audience. As far as I know, TM Juliet, your first speech under the evaluation and feedback project is commendable. Your message wasn't just a story, it was a public service that could help many of us recognize red flags in the scams that are common nowadays. In summary, TM Juliet, I hope you would apply these suggestions of mine to improve or bring your speech onto the next level. And congratulations, TM Juliet. Your voice is not only being heard, but your voice is made to inspire. Congratulations, TM Juliet. And back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, President Jeff Robles, for the evaluation of the prepared speech of Toastmaster Juliet Castro. To add my a few cents of mine for Toastmaster Juliet. Toastmaster Juliet, I love how you've actually presented your speech. If I may suggest one way to perhaps enhance it, I would recommend, since you have several stories about scams and scamming, I would suggest that you evaluate them from the most ordinary, most mundane to the most grievous or the most scandalous. Why? So that when you build your story, you also take us with the experience. Oh my God, she lost 10,000 pesos. Probably I can easily recover that. I can survive that. And then your final story would be the perhaps a million pesos lost because of the scammers, which can be very, very scandalous. So it can also really, because of the sheer amount of the money that you have lost, it would definitely call the attention of your audience and pay extra attention to you. And since that's the final piece of your story, when you introduce the lessons that you'd like us to take away from your speech, you can guarantee that your audience will be paying attention to you, because this is one way of actually pampering us with not with horror stories of scammers, but with practical tips on how we can avoid scammers like this. So I really appreciate the speech, Toastmaster Juliet. It was well thought of. I just wanted to add drama in how you would present the different stories so that you can really also build up the tension among your audience. But overall, it's a great speech. It's a great speech for this project, and I really appreciate also the feedback of President Jeff in helping you further elevate your presentation. So fellow Toastmasters, let's give our pair, Toastmaster Juliet and Toastmaster Jeff, a big round of applause. Congratulations and thank you very much. We actually had another speaker, and this time, if Toastmaster Juliet provided us with practical tips on the subject of scams, our second speaker delivered a reflective speech, a reflection. And what I love about Reflect on Your Path is it allows you the opportunity to look back at what look back at your experience and share this to your audience who are also Toastmasters who will be working on the same project, whether we like it or not. So the if there's one reason I love about you reflect on your path is we can learn a lot of things that we can also apply as we work on our different projects, leading to the final speech, reflect on the path. And to evaluate the reflection speech of DTM Rose, please welcome. Oh yes, please welcome DTM Mark Edrada. Let's give DTM Mark a round of applause.
I smell the aroma of your pathway success, Toastmaster Rose. Congratulations to you. And first off, I would like to give you a stretch. I would like to stretch your muscles, your mental muscles, your speaking muscles about the speech that you have just delivered. The concept of the diary was intriguing as an introduction. The story that you have mentioned about the reflection of your Toastmaster journey was a blast because I was able to follow the general story that you were saying. And your speech was inspiring because there was a soul in your leadership and communication stories. And after that kind of stretching, let me massage and get the rid of the nodules of your speech. First, I was trying to relate the diary episode to your question, what is time? I would like to suggest to have a smooth transition between the introduction and the next part of your message. Second, when you deliver your message, try to departmentalize your speech or have it in chronological order. When I say departmentalize, first give us the concept or context of the speech that you're conveying, and then go to the main idea in your, for example, in your speech. There was this concept, and then you may move into the presidency and directorship that you have experienced. And last, have your realization, final realization, instead of jumping from one topic to another. And third, have the reflection about presentation mastery path. I noticed earlier that you delivered a story in your entire leadership journey, in your entire Toastmasters journey. And in your purpose, it is the reflection about your current path, which is presentation mastery. For example, you may share with us that you were able to present a talk, you were able to have a podcast or a blog, or you were always being called as a social speaker in any events that you are attending. Toastmaster Rose, to summarize, your concept of diary was intriguing. You have this general story that made me follow through and through. And third, it was inspiring. And to get the rid of the nodules, you may have this good transition between statements, departmentalize your speech, and have a specific reflection about your current path. Toastmaster Rose, now I would like to offer you a coffee or a tea by having that certificate for your completion of your pathways. Congratulations as a new completer for this education session. Back to you, Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Nomel.
Thank you very much, Tia Mark, for that amazing evaluation of the reflection speech of DTM Rose. What I love about the evaluation of DTM Mark is that he did not only highlight the strengths of the speech, but he was able to give a very specific recommendation for DTM Rose based on the requirements of the speech project. And I really appreciate that because that demonstrates the diligence of DTM Mark to read through the requirements of the project and the evaluation resource. If I may share also my personal opinion of the speech of DTM Rose. I really love the speech, DTM Rose. I love the different devices that you use in the speech, the letter reading. There was a point that I felt that you appear to just like throwing out ideas, thinking out loud. That portion I love the most. And then when you said, "I think I have ADHD. What do you think?" And then you started to just try to introduce different things, but they are all actually cohesive and connected to one another. And finally, you've actually used a lot of devices and techniques in your speech. The final technique that you actually use that I really love is you just surprise us by actually ask, "Let me show you." And I thought it was just again another thinking out loud moment, but you actually ask DTM Mark, and suddenly it became a role play, an interview, a panel of sorts. So all these you were able to include in a 5 to 7 minute speech. It is a reflection not only of your experience as a public speaker, as a Toastmaster, but it also demonstrates your diligence in completing your projects. But I do agree with DTM Mark that if there's something missing in the speech, I would definitely say that I would have loved to listen also to your actual experience in completing the presentation mastery path. Because if I am working on it, I would love to, of course, steal an idea, one or two ideas, so that I can also apply in my own. But nonetheless, your speech is definitely one pampering experience for all of us. And the evaluation of Dito Mark added value to that. So it's a great pampering with extra service. Tea, coffee. So let's give the pair of DTM Rose and DTM Mark a big round of applause. Congratulations and thank you to both of you. Right, so fellow Toastmasters, this is what I really love about any Toastmasters meeting. You come hungry, you come tired, just sitting through in a virtual meeting like this, it's really like a spa experience. The wisdom are the minerals that each one of the attendees would share would be the minerals that would rejuvenate our aching muscles. But this time, what aches are our desire for learning, for improvement. But we're not done yet. Wait, there's more, right? When you go to the spa, you thought you just have massage. No, spas now provide what full scale healing experience, and as I mentioned, spas now also include food. And if you have tried Korean spa, it has even a cultural experience to it. Remember, you have to wear those towels and appear like mouse, Mickey Mouse. So if you haven't tried Korean spa, try it. It's a crazy, wonderful, beautiful experience. You feel like you cannot imagine if you're a kid going through the experience, or you're just a tired individual wanting to have a great experience on a spa. So more spa experience, fellow Toastmasters, and this time we will be listening to the evaluation of our meeting functionaries. We'll begin with the evaluation of our language. And our language evaluator is no other than Toastmaster Chris Sevillejo. Toastmaster Chris, take it away.
Thank you, TM Noel. Language, like the body, flourishes when nurtured. Grammar is its spa treatment, restoring clarity and balance. Swords World Manila. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. Tonight, I have taken notes of any improper languages as well as any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or thoughts, and even those people who used our word of the day. I would like to commend and give a round of applause to TM Juliet, TM Hazel, and TM Nomel for using our word for the day, which is pampered. I know maybe I'm some speakers also use it, but forgive me if I missed listing your name. Like a spa for the soul, quotes, sayings that was given to us by our speakers for tonight also soothe, inspire, and renew our perspective. I have listed some of the quotes that inspired us for the day. And the first one is given to us by TM Mikey, which she said, rest isn't a reward, it is a necessity. The second one is from DM Juliet, where she says, scammers have leveled up with their modus. Scammers are scammers until they don't get what they want. The third one is from DM Rose, where she says, in real life, closest we come to perfection is contentment. And the last one, which I really, really like, and I think really is close to my heart because sometimes I tend to struggle in writing my speeches as well, is when TM Mark um, shared this wonderful quotes to us where he said, when drafting your speech, if your mind falters, let your heart lead the way. And lastly, although I'm not a technical expert in language and grammar, based on my observation, I didn't notice any errors from any of the speakers tonight. I may have missed something, but I still want to congratulate everyone on a job well done. I would like to leave you all with this simple quote, which says, pamper your sentence as you pamper yourself. Refresh your vocabulary, immerse yourself in books, discover new words, and embrace the art of relearning language and grammar. Back to you, our general evaluator, Noel.
All right. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chris. That's a sweet, short and sweet language evaluation, Toastmaster Chris, but you managed to cover everything. I also appreciate the way you have presented your language evaluation because you presented it like a mini speech. Always remember when you perform one of these technical roles as meeting functionaries, fellow Toastmasters, you're not just being asked to serve as language evaluator or as an accounter. These are also leadership roles in our meetings. But on top of that, these are also opportunities for you to practice delivering a speech. So your reports can be a mini speech of sorts. So when you present it, try to come up with an opening. The report is the body of your speech and a conclusion. And Toastmaster Chris has beautifully demonstrated that to us today, just like going through an amazing spa experience, perhaps in one of the hot springs of Pansol, Laguna, or if you are not aware of it, you may want to check the cold springs of Cavite Highlands. We do have cold springs in Cavite. Right, now it's time for us to listen to our next meeting functionary, our counter, and our motion evaluator. Please welcome the president of the DYCI Toastmasters Club, President Mikey de Guzman. Take it away, Toastmaster Mikey.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am again Meycauayan Luis de Guzman or Mikey de Guzman, the president of DYCI Toastmaster Club, and I am very much honored to be invited here since I have been, before I present my evaluation, I have been very much honored and happy to join Meycauayan Toastmaster Club since DYCI is just a young club and we were able to survive, of course, under the mentorship of Toastmaster Rose and Toastmaster Armel. And we have been really looking up to Meycauayan Toastmaster Club as one of our club mentors and proceed in performing or interceding with our club meetings. So for today, I have the honor of serving as your accounter and motion evaluator. My role is to help us refine our communication by tracking any filler words such as like, or as well as grammatical lapses that may hinder clarity. Additionally, I have observed unnecessary movements or gestures, whether it is excessive gesture, distracting hand motion, or nervous tics that may pull attention away from the strength of your message. I will now be presenting my report to help us all become mindful, articulate, and confident speakers. My fellow Toastmasters, as I present this, let us aim for precision and poise as we express our ideas. I had a hard time on checking our fillers as I have been listening eagerly for the entirety of this meeting. But here are my report. For Toastmaster Mark, just one Toastmaster Jeff, two us. Toastmaster Juliet, one Toastmaster Hazel, one Toastmaster Nomel, one Toastmaster Chris, two and one us. my fellow Toastmaster, public speaking is a skill that we continuously polish, and the key to improvement lies in awareness and intentional practice. So, as your counter and motion counter as well, here are the few tips that I have to keep in mind. First is pause with purpose. Silence can be more powerful than filler words, so take a breath before speaking to maintain clarity. Second, since we are in a virtual space, I would like you to own the space. Use gestures and movements to deliberately enhance your message and not to distract your listeners from it. And of course, lastly, to speak with confidence. Even if we make mistakes, remember we are just human. Let us deliver our words with conviction and trust our voice. My fellow Toastmaster, do it. Every great speaker once struggled with the same habits we aim to refine today. Let us pamper ourselves with progress because progress is greater than perfection. I will now be returning the control to our general evaluator.
Thank you very much, President Mikey. This is perhaps the best counter reports that I've ever heard. It's a speech of sort. In fact, if I'm your Vice President Education, I would probably ask you, can we look into your path and see where this can fit in? It's a lovely technical report, President Mikey, and I love also how you actually demonstrated the use of intentional gestures. When you provided us with your motion evaluation, you were not only sharing your observations with us, you were also demonstrating it. Although I've noticed that you're a southpaw, for most part, only your left hand is moving, but it was moving with perfection, with purpose. I love it, Toastmaster Mikey. I also love your demeanor. You were smiling all the way. So even if you actually criticize me adversely, negatively, I would think that it's a lovely message of encouragement. That's how positive your demeanor was. So let's give President Mikey another round of applause. Thank you very much and congratulations. And of course, dear Toastmasters, last but not the least, a visit to the spa is not perpetual. You have to leave, right? Sometimes you only go to the spa for 1 hour. Sometimes, if it's Korean, you can actually stay there for 24 hours. So, in Toastmasters, we also have a timer, an evaluator who will help us manage our time. And tonight, our time evaluator is no other than DTM Rose Padilla. Take it away, DTM Rose.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Nomel. Welcome again to Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. And yes, that was my question. Do we have time to pamper ourselves? I don't know, but here in Toastmasters, we have time allocations to speak and to pause or stop. We started the meeting 7:03 p.m. A little late, but it's all good because we still have enough time for the general evaluation and the announcements later. For our table topic speakers, congratulations, everyone was on time. Toastmaster Juliet, 1 minute 54 seconds. Toastmaster Mikey, 2 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Hazel, 2 minutes 5 seconds. And Toastmaster Chris, 2 minutes and 8 seconds. For the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Juliet was over time, 7 minutes and 38 seconds. I think I was under time. I was not able to time myself earlier, but I think it was approximately 9 minutes for a 10 to 12-minute speech project. Now, for our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Mark, you were on time for 5 minutes and 37 seconds. For the prepared speech evaluations, they were both overtime. Toastmaster Jeff with 4 minutes 4 seconds and Toastmaster Mark with 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Language evaluator Toastmaster Chris was on time for 2 minutes 17 seconds, as well as our counter Toastmaster Mikey for 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And for me, it is still 1 minute and 52 seconds. And now that we are at the end, or almost at the end of our meeting, we can get a bit comfortable. There is a time for everything. There's a time to speak, and a time to pause, and a time to end the meeting. And that is 9 o'clock p.m. Back to our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Noel.
Thank you very much, DTM Rose. All right, now I'm under pressure because I'm looking at our the newsletter.
What
It says
time?
evaluation portion is until 9:15, and DTM
Oh,
Rose announced that we're supposed to end by 9 o'clock. Just kidding.
sorry,
Uh,
sorry, sorry.
not really kidding because it's no, but seriously, thank you very much, Didem Rose, for that comprehensive time report. I enjoyed your report on our use of time. It usually when we listen to technical reports like our meeting functional reports, it can be a little boring because after all, these are just reports of things that happened or observed during the meeting, right? And for most parts, listening to reports like this can would actually pose that question, how would this personally impact me in the future? Yes, time. I can say that by knowing my how I used to spend time during this meeting, I can manage my time next meeting better, right? But with a report like how DTM Rose has presented our timers report, you can really see the value of time and the need to manage our time. So thank you very much, DTM Rose. Now, I let me just conclude our evaluation portion, fellow Toastmasters, with a few more observations that I have. I have already shared with you how I really like the flow of tonight's meeting. It's almost like having a great spa experience. Spa means health through water. If this is a spa experience that we wanted everyone who's present tonight would experience, it's almost like enjoying the calmness of the flow of the water. It suits the body, it suits the spirit. But tonight, instead of the literal water, our water tonight would be the speeches, the ideas, the camaraderie, and the leadership observations that we can take away from tonight's meeting. So overall, dear Toastmasters, it's an amazing meeting. I to actually mention something that you can improve on is practically nitpicking. But if I may allow to nitpick, I would just probably just advise if you can include an actual time allocation for the general evaluation on the program so that the future GEs would know that the general evaluation part can only be can is only given say 5 minutes, right? Although on the program it says evaluation portion will run from 8:15 to 9:15, which gives your general evaluator an idea on how long the program would be or how long he can stretch the portion. But it would still I feel that it would be a good idea if the GE would know how much time he actually has when speaking as general evaluator. But overall, dear Toastmasters, I'd like to thank DTM Mark for inviting me tonight. There was a point in time when I received the invitation that I was hesitating because I'm actually working at night. In fact, as we progress with tonight's meeting, I'm
Meeting
also
process.
working. That's why I have to hide my video
Ano?
earlier. But no regrets. It's a great
Sa print ko
meeting.
binigyan mo.
Thank you very much, DTM Mark. Thank you very much, President Jeff. And kudos definitely to Toastmaster Oscar for an amazing spa themed meeting tonight. So, without further ado, I hope each one of those who are present tonight would share my opinion and my feelings that it has been a fantastic meeting. I've learned a lot, and I'm stealing some of the things that I observed tonight for the rest of the clubs in the 675. You have demonstrated a lot of best practices. And on that note, I return control to the amazing Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Oscar.
DTM Nomel, having you as our general evaluator for the night is an amazing experience. You can take the whole time, the whole meeting talking, and you are an awesome speaker. Thank you so much for those wonderful commendations and comments. And I feel happy that I have, in some ways, lifted everybody's spirits higher in a higher plane. And to think, Mark, that I almost missed this meeting because I had the flu a few hours before the meeting. I said, Mark, I'm sorry, but maybe I cannot do the job tonight. But here I am, and I feel relieved and rejuvenated after all those gems of speeches, the short ones and the prepared ones, and such on-point evaluations that hit the muscles where they're ailing. It was a truly wonderful experience. I believe I'm healed. On that note, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for the wonderful spa experience. We don't have a real spa experience. It's speak positively always, speak purposely always, and speak patiently always. It's not an easy process when you're developing a speech. It takes a lot of time for you to develop your keen perception of how a speech should be structured. But nonetheless, it was a well-balanced meeting. I appreciate the time that everybody prepared for the spa experience. And I'd like to commend Mark for the kind of education that he is exploring and the kind of themes that he is providing the club. On that note, I'd like to say thank you to everyone. I'd like to return the control to DTM Mark for any further announcements.
To our prepared speech evaluators, you may now complete and send the digital evaluation forms to your assigned speakers. To do this by logging in to your Pathways Basecamp account, click on Feedback tab and select Evaluation Feedback and access the digital evaluation form intended to your assigned speaker. Then complete the information required in the digital evaluation form. Prepared speakers, please mark your speech projects as completed right after this meeting. Congratulations to Toastmaster Chris for completing the level 2 of the leadership development path. The Meycauayan Toastmasters Club participated in the Toastmasters International District 75 Conference last April 25 to 27 at Savoy Hotel Newtown Mactan in Cebu with the theme Pasigarbo Ta. This event included the district level speech contests, keynotes from the 2019 World Champion of Public Speaking, Aaron Beverly, and International Director Elisa Tai. There were also evening activities and parties in this said event. The DISCON 2025 ended with a district level international speech contest, a lunch, and some water activities. As of May 12, 2025, the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club has achieved Perfect 10 President's Distinguished Club goals for the current term. In line with this, the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club attained 32 educational awards from different members. This in turn garnered the current term 2024 to 2025 the highest number of educational awards for the past 33 years. Also, these are our triple crowners as of the moment. This is our list of our target level completers before the current Toastmaster term ends. I encourage every one of you to deliver your speeches even outside our club meetings. The Meycauayan Toastmasters Club has a roadmap for the progress of our members. This is the list of our target Distinguished Toastmasters or DTMs for the rest of the decade in time for the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club's 40th anniversary in 2031. As part of our term end celebration, the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club will recognize our fellow Toastmasters, both seasoned and new joiners, on their achievements in communication, leadership, education, and mentorship. By shining a spotlight on the individual and collective achievements, the club envisions to strengthen its bond and set the stage for the next generation of impactful leaders and communicators. Even our guest general evaluators have the opportunity to grab the Best General Evaluator in the Guest Category Award in the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club's most prestigious award-giving body. This is the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club's first Diamond Gavel Awards night. On June 24, 2025, Tuesday at 7 p.m. via Zoom, with the latest webcast on the Meycauayan Toastmasters Club's official Facebook page. The 28-day book writing online course is now available. It contains online lecture videos that you may access 24/7. There will also be group coaching sessions once a month and unlimited individual email coaching for 1 year. To those who are interested to unleash the book author in you through the 28-day book writing online course, feel free to approach me. Our next educational meeting will be on May 27, 2025 at 7 p.m. The theme will be Rise and Lead, as we will learn and enhance our own leadership style in our family, community, and organizations. This will be hosted by Toastmaster Jeff as our Toastmaster for that evening. Our WMS, or Weekend Mentoring Session, is held every first and third Saturday of the month at 2 p.m. via Zoom. The Weekend Mentoring Session is open to Meycauayan Toastmasters Club members. Sa ika-24 ng Mayo sa ganap na alas 8:30 ng umaga, gaganapin ang ating club level patimpalak sa wikang Filipino. Ito ay tataon sa ating team building na gaganapin sa Casa Erlinda Private Resort. Kita-kits sa May 24. Ito rin ay bilang paghahanda sa maaring dumating o maganap na interclub patimpalak sa wikang Filipino. To our viewers on our social media platform, we invite you to join us to our regular educational meetings every second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 7 to 9:30 p.m. This is done online via Zoom, admission is free, and follow us on our official social media accounts. For more personal and professional lessons about communication and leadership, download the previous issues of The Toast, the official e-newsletter of Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. Download it for free by scanning the QR code at your screen. In physics, stress refers to the internal force exerted by a material to resist deformation when an external force is applied. In life, we also need stress to force us to be and to do better. However, parallel to stress, be mindful of the serenity and peace of mind that you also need for the moment. Take a breath, relax, and perhaps have a well-suited massage tonight. Fellow Toastmasters, see you next meeting. I am your Vice President for Education, Mark Andrada, and this is the family that rises and leads with competence and confidence. This is Meycauayan Toastmasters Club. Back to you, President Jeff.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mark. I would like to take some feedback from our guest, Mr. Fortunato, regarding the flow of our meeting tonight. Mr. Fortunato, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
How's your experience together with Meycauayan Toastmasters?
Yeah, I appreciate much. Actually, this is my third time I attended. The first time was April 8, April 22, and now it's May 13. Although I'm still in the process of learning and listening. As the saying goes, to be a good speaker, one must be a good listener. So right now, I'm just first listening to you guys. Thank you very much. That's all.
All right, that's right. Future Toastmaster Fortunato, and I hope you would join us on our team building session on May 24. Bring Tita Elise with you.
Salamat. Yeah.
All right.
May 24 sa Elena Resort.
Yeah. Yes, sir. How about distinguished Toastmaster Nomel? Please do invite us on your clubs.
I thought you want more general evaluation. No, seriously. I'm from the Marinas City Toastmasters Club. We are in Division K. Soon we'll become Division S. We meet twice a week. On Thursdays, we meet online every 6:30 p.m. via Zoom. And on Sundays, we meet in person of course, in Dasmariñas City and Cavite in Creations Cafe. If you are in the vicinity and you want to drop by our meetings, just contact us through our Facebook page, and I can assure you, all the officers will be running after to respond to your message. So see you around, and I hope to see you more often in different activities of Toastmasters.
Yeah. See you soon, distinguished Toastmaster Norman.
Sure.
And thank you also to DYCI Toastmaster, PM Hazel, and President Mikey. President Mikey, please do invite us to your club.
Oh yeah, actually, I we will be have actually I've mentioned President Rai. I've messaged President Rai the day before this or the day before yesterday that we will be having our meeting tomorrow. So I probably would use this opportunity to shamelessly plug our meeting. So we will be having our meeting tomorrow. It will be via Google Meet. And also, it will be online, same time, 7 p.m. So we hope you'll be there as well and join us on our meeting. Also, it has been our pleasure, really. DYCI, or Dr. Yangas Colleges Incorporated, that's the name of our humble school, to really be part of Meycauayan Toastmaster Club. Of course, we've grown from a very small club. If I'm not mistaken, I have remembered it's just 2 to 3 members who have always been constantly joining the meeting that we have, but now we have grown into 13 and we are still growing. So we were very much happy to be mentored by of course DTM Rose and DTM Armel. So tomorrow I will be as part of my shamelessly plugging here, our of course our Toastmaster um club meeting theme is see it differently. So I hope you'll be there. So this is a play on various perspectives. So we hope to as well hear from you and learn from you. I guess I will just be sharing the link, the access to President Rai. So and always a pleasure to be invited to my Kawaii Toastmaster Club. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, President Mikey. It's also our pleasure to have you in our meetings. So, dear Toastmasters, friends, and guests, we're almost done in our meeting. Thank you for all our role takers, guests, friends, and my fellow club mates in attending our meeting tonight. Based on our theme, we have learned to slow down and learn the importance of self-care. We also go from slowing down to listening to the powerful speeches and eye-opening speeches of our speakers, which raised awareness tonight. So I want to thank you all again. And as we close, I encourage everyone to take the lessons shared tonight. Beyond this meeting, let's continue to speak with purpose, listen with empathy, and lead with intention. And with that, with trust vested in me by Meycauayan Toastmasters Club, I now officially call this meeting. I adjourn this meeting. All right, see you and good night.
Good night.